you know, there's areas of life where you got to be a private soldier, you know, right? And there's areas of life where you're gonna have to be the captain. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about there's nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's other people here, but none of them know what they doing. You know what I mean? Like you say you're in a situation, something's a whole bunch of kids and some kind of, you know, chaos or whatever. You gotta step up and be the captain. It's no choice. You see what I'm saying? Oh, let me get this. Wise Prince. What's the deal? For a few more minutes, I don't know what's going on with this over here. See my screen. Yeah, what the hell is going on with that? Man? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that could be a problem, huh? But you know, yeah, at the end of the day, you know, see, so like you were saying, right? The culture is, yeah, it is. I never really described it like that, but it's the collective consciousness. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's the you know, when you hear the Africans talk about the ancestors and all of that, you know what I'm saying? The culture is the accumulated knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a culture where people build tables or something, right? Those tables is probably better than the tables they was making 700 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Because the culture developed. You see what I'm saying? You know, anything like, you know, this cell phone or TV or whatever is based on technology that was already accumulated in this culture. You see what I mean? So even the consciousness to say like, all right, yo, at this time of year, right, we're gonna go over there. You know what I'm saying? You know, now the average person might just be like, yeah, it's a reason they don't go over there. To see culturally, they know that this is the time when the zebras run through here and all over there is lions waiting for the zebras. And if you go over there, they're gonna treat you like a zebra. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you know, there's things like that where it's a level of consciousness, and it's like I tell you another thing that when I was a kid, I used to go down south and shit, right? And the mosquitoes. You know, I don't know if you ever been down south. They got those mosquitoes where you can see them. Like, they fly past you. What was that? 747. So the mosquitoes, man, for whatever reason, man, they used to love me. Man. I was still like, yo, anybody you. But at any rate, I used to, like, whenever the mosquitoes used to bite me, I used to leave from around my great grandmother because she never used to let me scratch the whisper. You know what I'm saying? And whenever you would scratch where the mosquitoes bit you, she would stop you and say, stop doing that. It's poison in your fingernails. Oh. So at the time, I like, if it's poison my fingernails, why don't die when I eat the sandwich? You're like, yo, what kind of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? I thought she didn't know what he was talking about. She was talking about. But see, I didn't know about infections and shit. You see what I'm saying? And I'm from a time when, you know, you get an infection, you go to the store, get some alcohol, peroxide. If it gets that bad, you go to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? But she was born in 1895 in a rural island where you might have to go 50 miles to a hospital. You know, and look, you gotta take a ferry to get where you could drive and shit. So you can't afford to get an infection. You can't afford none of that stuff. You see what I mean? You can't afford for none of that stuff that happens. So they had to know other and yeah, like just every little thing. I used to always be like, yo, you know, I used to think she was bugging out, but just different things like, look, you can't get a cold, you can't get pneumonia and all that shit, because, you know, even if we get you to the hospital, yeah, now we gotta pay money, or like we might don't got it, man. So the way of life accounted for those things, even though she couldn't, if you would have asked her about microbes and shit, she would have had no idea what you're talking about. You know what I mean? But she knew exactly what you was meaning. Exactly. And that consciousness existed in the culture and was being passed down for years until it got to hard-headed motherfuckers like me. So you think, we losing that as time progresses? Like the connection, because like we was already in a system where our knowledge was taken away from us, and then our ancestors was trying to pass it down through our generation. But it's like as the generation gets older, they get part of whatever they was ingrained with, match with the institutions of quote unquote knowledge in the schools. But the knowledge is actually at home, most of it. Mm-hmm. So you think we getting further and further away from home because we getting distracted from devices? Or do you think we can come back to, or it's like ingrained? Well, some of it is lost for now, right? Like, you know, I'm saying, you know, but put like this, right now, if you just sent me, like, I could fish. I know how to fish, right? But if I go hunt, right, the animal gotta be tired or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't have, you know, I'm saying how to find them and all of that, right? How to skin them and take them apart and all of that. Don't get me wrong, there's people that's chefs and all of that, people got different knowledge, right? But here's the thing, is that, like you said, the culture is a level of consciousness, right? But you know, the consciousness don't come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It's a product of learning. You see what I mean? So when you look at the Egyptian pyramids, right? They got pyramids that's fucked up. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? The ones they show you on TV is mostly the perfected ones. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean? But the other ones is when they was going through the learning process. So there's a lot of things that's lost, right? You know, like, you know, how do you clean shit without, you know, the spray shit that you get at the Whistler? You know, how many people would do that? You know, now, up until my mom's generation, right? My family made their own soap. You know what I'm saying? Like this, my mom, she tells stories. Yeah, man, I say, hey, I had to go make the soap. You know, one day, a cousin was playing around the thing and she got burnt on her leg. Like they got stories of making soap and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, could the average, you know, if you go right now, you know, the average woman, could they make soap? No. You understand what I mean? So I mean, she wanted to learn, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not, you know, I know how to do it. It's not super hard. You know what I'm saying? But just saying that the knowledge right now is lost. Yeah. You understand what I mean? A lot of things that, you know, we going, like my grandmother, right? Mm-hmm. When my kids was babies, she used to always laugh at me about buying diapers. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the time, because I'm on my first one and my second, right? So she's like, yo, I raised 4 boys. And I never bought a diaper. And they like that to her was just like, why would you waste money on something like that? Like she just felt like, you don't understand how expensive it is. That's why you wasting your money on shit like diapers. Like she had 1,000 jokes. You see what I'm saying? But that's the whole process we were dealing with the whole time, though. You gotta realize. You know what I mean? From the time we came here in America, right? And they start the indoctrination process, right? And there's something you hit on the key, right? Of why the disconnect has gotten so wide and why it accelerates is school. In the science of nationalism, right? Germany was one of the last countries to become a nation. Like before that, when they talking about France and England and all that in the 16, 17, 1800s, those are empires and kingdoms. Those are not countries in the way we know a nation state right now. So Germans, they was the last people to leave the empire states, kingdom states, and come into nationhood, or one of the last, right? And at some point, a whole bunch of diplomats went to Germany, and they saw some demonstration. It was like it was amazing to other politicians how Germany was able to put their country together so fast. You know what I'm saying? And so when they asked him how he did that, he said compulsory education. And that's why it's compulsory education in America right now. Kindergarten is a German word that means child's garden. See what I'm saying? So from the time they kind of started using that as a tool of indoctrination, you know what I'm saying? You see that kind of the faster that process takes place and the more drastic that process takes place, the less of those people is around right now. You see what I'm saying? Like, meaning for Black people, right, we get to go to school and then we go back home and shit, right? So at least for a part of the day, we around our culture. But see, you got other people like the Aboriginals and the Indians, right, where they take them. You're right. You leave. You're not nowhere near your family no more and shit. And if you notice, the people that had that happen to them, they gone. See what I'm saying? Because they totally eradicate the way of life like that. You know what I mean? So that's just in terms of, when you get to kind of this modern era of, the Noble Drew Ali's, Marcus Garvey's, Elijah Muhammad's, et cetera, that's what they was doing. They would say, those was brothers that realized, like, yo, saying, we've been sold a bill of goods here, man. About who we are, who they are, and how all this came to be like this.
So is that why he was deported? And he started putting things together?
Say it again?
Marcus Garvey, is that why he was deported when he started putting things together? And telling everybody about, like, we need our own. I know he was talking about we need our own things, this and that. And go back to our original origins.
Well,
how did he end up that way? Like,
Well, yeah, uppity niggas have to be removed. You know, so as that goes, deportation, um, deportation was probably the lightest. You know what I'm saying? Other people get killed. You know what I mean? You know, there's you know, that was, I don't know if you ever seen like in the 60s where they got what they call the freedom rides, you know, and you see the white people out there meeting them to rumble and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the mentality behind the white people that came out there to rumble is that, listen, we don't want no uppity niggas from up in New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, none of them fucking shit coming down here, putting no ideas in our niggas' heads.
They want to keep them dumb.
So that's, you know, I mean, you know, the stuff that you're saying is, look, when I look at the lessons, I see a certain flow to it, right? Where, you know, it tells you who you are, right? It explains it, you know, explains where you are, you know, and then it starts explaining the circumstances. You know what I mean? 136 is what we're doing here. You know, the 114 is telling you about, you know, different events, clashes between positive and negative throughout history, right? And then when you start getting up to the 140, it starts telling you about the science of the specific situation, right? And it starts telling you what it is that you got to do about it, right? Take the devil off the planet, off your planet. So basically, you know, that's kind of what you know, it's, you know, you do have to identify that. Meaning, like, when we hear about different kinds of racism, right? The people, like, say, redlining, the people in that time ain't know that they was redlining, but they knew it was something why they couldn't get a loan for a house and shit. You know what I mean? They can't put their finger on it. You see what I mean?
A term for it, but they knew it was getting
so see,
fucked out of some housing.
Right. So see, you gotta shine light on those things, right? So now you can know, like, all right, this is what it is. Like, so now you know what it is that you're training for. You see what I mean? Like, see, now that you said yourself, you know, all these different ways that they trying to cut down your consciousness, right? And your ability to activate your knowledge. You see what I'm saying? So now you see why we so much deal with knowledge. You got to know your lessons and all of that because we know that that's what they're trying to do. We know that that's the situation of us getting over it, right? Is that we didn't know who they was and who we was. You know what I'm saying? If we knew who we was and who they was, we wouldn't have been siding with them against each other.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You know, the whole, you know, science of all this different conditions that we in, you know, a lot of it is based on lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And then that lack of knowledge puts us in a situation where it's like, okay, now it's all other factors.
That's would that be what the basis of the American dream is? Live in ignorance, because ignorance is bliss. If you living in the dreamland in their version, you thinking you good, you working, you providing.
Well, you gotta remember that that's which, you know, corporate America, you know, America is, you know, when you say corporate America and you separate it like it's a separate thing, it's a little different. You know what I mean? You know, yeah, man, I'm saying these corporations is, look, if these corporations wasn't somehow at the root of America, why you gave them all that money? Why you ain't give us all that money, just the people?
You say we the people.
Yeah, you're right. That's the G.
But we wasn't included in that.
Yeah. So see, corporate America, and they see, like I said, people, like you said, like if you know your culture, right? And like I said, okay, so my grandmother is no good for the Pampers company. You understand what I'm saying? These people, so they got a lot to do with the dumbing down of people. Speech, you know what I'm saying? Or even the, you know, a lot of things. See, what they preach, what they might tell you is convenience, right? Is really another level of the net that you can record up in. See, like, remember we talking about the telephone, right? That's mind power that people have lost. When you say that, you know, people used to have 30, 40 telephone numbers on cap, right? And now you can't remember your own number. That's brain power that you lost. You see what I'm saying? And the more they can, you losing that brain power, right, also causes a dependency on it. See, now you need the phone.
Like mental welfare.
Right. So see, they're doing all these things, right, to destroy your creative power. You see what I'm saying? The more of this stuff that you take in, right, it's only but 24 hours in a day. So if you spend 24 hours taking stuff in, right, then when is the power that's in you going to come out? You see what I mean?
Never.
Right. So see, we can talk about education, but look, let me tell you something about the games, right? See, back in the days, we used to have to make up our own games. We should make our own toys. Slingshots, clubhouse, go-kart, all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? That takes creative power. We used to go around different blocks, right? They play games different. Like in this spot, when you play 21, there's no out. You know what I'm saying? Is, you know, in that part, it's no fouls. You know, in this part, no, we play the NBA. So, this shit is, we call it everything. So, you know, or you go around different blocks, and the way they say any money more to pick size is different. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, just you know, the way they play tag, because that's the different children from that area putting their heads together and they creative power and their abilities and their environment to say, all right, yeah, like, nah, if we playing hide and go seek, you can't go over there. That's, you know what I'm saying? You know, all this type of shit, we formulate the rules. You see what I mean? But now, when you play a video game, right, this whole thing has already been imagined by somebody else. Yeah. And you only got a limitation of stuff what you could do, right? So now, you know, look, the people in my generation, that's what we have. We see people in your generation, those motherfuckers wearing the same clothes and shit. That's what it is, though. You doing all the same shit. So even, look, right now, like, you know, New York has become a corporate, not corporate, a chain store town. It really never used to be chain stores like that in New York because the economy here was so strong that even a mom and pop store could fend off. You understand what I'm saying? But now, all of that's gone, right? And when you walk in all of these stores, they all look the same. But see, that's also, you know, because they logic in that is that any store that you go in, you're going to be comfortable in it and know how to find what you find real quick. It's going to make you always want to go there because you can always find what you want because everyone is the same all around the country. Right. All of that is the reasons why we stay mentally sharp. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with our lessons and all of that. But see, now look, if you get too caught up in that stuff, right? Because see, what'll happen is this. You might fuck around and get a good enough position inside the system where you stop thinking about the stuff you say.
That's the point. It's like I get you here. I can't get you here. I'm gonna figure out how to get you somewhere else. Yeah. Somewhere in a concrete place in that burning house.
I don't think, that's quite slow. I don't think it's big enough.
Just pretty sure. It said,
Because I think it's too big for the tank.
now if it do this, it goes by the what's the name? Yeah, just put this in the water. Just dump it in the bottle. Yeah. You see, trying to get out of it. No, this not like that. All right, peace. All right, we'll go on my screen. We got the filter right here. So the next time when y'all see the pond in the yard, just know that it's cleaner. My son. Some new fishies. But this time, I almost didn't recall. I know y'all probably out there. Wondering, why is Darkim bothering Saladin? But in fact, I am not. Before you say it, because I know you people, and you people are out there thinking, Darkim is being a troublemaker. Wow, you know, that's what y'all are thinking. First of all, let me tell y'all what. No, I'm not picking on Saladin. I wasn't even thinking of Saladin. In fact, what happened was, what had happened is I was looking for the filter, right? I wanted to buy the filter, and I had Googled it. In the past, right? So I knew what it was that I wanted to get, but you know, I was just looking it back up. So you know how on your phone, when you look on the internet, right, and then you leave the window open, so you got the different tabs and shit, right? So I was going through the tabs to try to find the tab where I had looked up the filter, right? Oh, that's legal. That's legal. Is there anything wrong with that, right? You know, nobody's paying on nobody. So, you know, in the course of doing that, I happened to come across the tab, right, where in the past I Googled the trademark, Saladin's trademark, you know, Googling it in the past, you know. And I have some good news. I have an announcement to make. You know, this should be really good news, especially if you got the knowledge after 1995. After 1995, I got some great news. I opened up the page for Saladin's trademark, and the trademark is dead. I wish I had the other equipment hooked up today. I listen, Saladin, round of applause. You know what I'm saying? Listen, thanks, Obama. We appreciate you, Saladin. Yeah. This is all we wanted. We just wanted you to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? What we didn't want is for you to be speaking to us in a condescending manner as if we were the ones that fucked up. But you know, shout out to Saladin once again. We appreciate you. Positive elevation always corrects errors. And I guess I'll see you next show proof. So everything worked out, I guess. But you know, yeah, you can look it up right now if you Google it. 7 Trademark Saladin. The trademark is in fact dead. You know. So you know, anytime you know now's the time that we discuss it, Saladin. Now you come and you say, listen, brothers, sisters, this is why I think we should do this. And then we build like men and women, like a nation. Like a body, like the whole, man. But you know, everybody, man, you listen. Yeah, y'all do me a favor with this live right here, right? Make sure y'all put the link out there. Make sure y'all put the link out there, you know, so everybody can know that. But yeah, I'm sure Saladin doesn't want to be my friend anymore, but we peace. It's filter together at the same time. All right. Almost, yeah. Listen, there's lots of things, right, that you know, people often wonder. People,
like how people was taught to drive manual stick and automatic. Now people just can drive without a wheel now. That's the thing. And it's like that's how I see the culture. I was like, oh yeah, you don't have to learn automatic. You just sit there. Some robot take it. No. That skill.
that's good. All of that. Have you ever heard of Taylor law? There's a dude, I don't know, I can't remember his first name, but in New York, there's something called a Taylor law. That's why you might have heard of him, right? Where if you work for like the city or something, you can't go on strike. Like if you ever, I don't know if you was around when the last time the bus drivers had a strike and they locked the head of the union up.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, that's because of this thing called the Taylor law. And Taylor, he probably is more responsible for the assembly line than Ford. Because when he came around, before him, things was made by craftsmen. You know what I'm saying? Smiths and shit like that. And so these people was experts. So you had to go to them and shit. You know what I mean? So when you got somebody like that, you can't tell this nigga, you know, look, you gotta do overtime. And you fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I want to do. Well, how else are you gonna get made? I'll be back in the morning and I'll do, you know what I'm saying? That's it. So the assembly line was really like, it's difficult to show somebody how to be a craftsman on that level, right? But it's easy to show them how to do just one part of that. And that's where the assembly line came from. It was really to break down the power of those craftsmen, right? That can kind of control the labor relationship with the business. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, but what it also did, right, is it took away the skills that those people had. Yeah. You see what I mean? So now, my uncle, he worked GM, he retired from it. You know what I'm saying? He came out of Vietnam, ended up over there in Detroit, right? And retired from he don't ever build no car. I ain't think he changed the tire. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? He worked in plant for decades. But that's what so like you said, now, if you don't have your own knowledge, right, to base your wisdom on, then where's your culture going to be based on? It's just based on whatever's the elements that they tell you. We got, let me see something. Let me put the link in here. Just in case anyone wants to come on and say a couple words. I want to get back to the anybody wants to come on and say a couple words. Justice, you just came in. You missed. We're having a Saladin Appreciation Day. The trademark is dead. So all y'all brothers that got the knowledge at the 1995, y'all out the woods for now. So we're saying shout out to Saladin. He did the right thing. And we welcome him to Sean Proof 2023. That's an episode. See, for me, it's a different thing, but y'all can say that now. Some of the newer people that's just getting knowledge, you say, yeah, when I first got the knowledge, man, somebody tried something like that. Listen, I always said, man, Saladin jumped to be a firstborn. He first one did any of that stuff. I ain't never seen any of that. But to his credit, though, he got the right idea in terms of, who's the people that he needs to be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, young, our teaching is not exactly the same, but, he do his thing in reference to that. Did anybody hit the link? I'm being toys. Go put this in the water. I gotta go put this in the water right now. So we're gonna take a quick break. Quick break. Let me get these fish. Let me get these fish in the water. Cause you know, y'all gonna be out here. Y'all gonna be out here on the Wisdom Build Day. I gotta get everything ready. When y'all come and see it this time, you're gonna be like, oh, guys did the dizzle. Guess the kids love the fish. Be right back.
Hey, y'all, God see the computer.
Hmm?
I may be able to help.
Oh yeah, go ahead, check it out.
I am extremely excited to welcome.
You pick you a man yet, God?
Huh?
You pick a man for yourself?
No, not yet.
Okay.
You'll go to me.
Tell you name for another month, right?
Huh?
Probably another month.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you name people on. Right? That's a happy experience, I know that.
Yeah. It is, God.
Well, say Pete got him like going out. I'm done.
It's 1 hour already.
Something wrong with the Ethernet code.
10 more minutes.
Yeah. And then it keeps saying that it's not picking it up. But yet it says it's Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's weird. Then they say
What's it's the screen is frozen. It's not frozen over here. All right, so all right, so the last thing you got was what? Today's mathematics, wisdom, power, refinement, all being born to God. Wisdom, power, refinement, all being born to God.
Ain't gonna be me, huh? Yeah, 2 years. 2 years. Every day a week, I'm not going to that no more. Yeah, right, I see you, tell me. I had the dog, and the dog because you got no more. So I'm here every holiday, everybody out party except me. You should be fine all day. But you only get 1 more day for God keep you. I hope you ain't gonna see on who's body, but it don't make you make. So I'm glad I feel good before you met. I'm glad that yeah, man. Yeah, I know you're right.
All right.
I told a lot of people, go on month, but I didn't have to go on.
Okay, get a new page. Supreme mathematics at the top. All right, put 1. Knowledge. Now leave space, right? Because what you're gonna have to do is you gotta go find the definition for these. So you need space. You're gonna write what you put right there.
So I'm gonna have to research it on my own.
Yeah.
Okay.
2, wisdom.
Please go.
Face.
How you doing?
All right. 3.
Are you studying?
Yeah.
Please go. Please.
3 pieces you got.
Please.
Understand.
Nah, that's what's up. This is great here.
4, culture, freedom. Culture or freedom. 5, power or refinement. 6, quality, equality. 7, it's God. 8, build or destroy. 9, it's born. 0,
Safe.
yeah. You gotta go, you gotta pay careful attention to etymology. So first of all, once you start knowing the roots and prefixes, suffixes, etc., of words, just, even if you're reading something, a lot of times you might see a word that you don't recognize, but if you recognize the roots of the word, you know what I mean? Like the word might have circ in it, CIRC. So that means around. You know what I mean? Like circumnavigate, circumference, whatever it means around. See what I mean? But also you gotta realize that there's those roots, right? And then there's usage, meaning how the word is used can sometimes change the definition. You know what I mean? At least in English.
So would that be considered content?
I would say usage. It could be, but I wouldn't say context, because what I'm talking about is say the words awful and awesome has got the same root.
The prefix, oh.
Right. You see, one has become known as something very good, and the other one has come to know as something very bad. But in reality, or it's just the state that you in when you experience it. You understand what I'm saying? And one just means that you're full of awe, and one you have some awe. You see what I'm saying? Or terrible and terrific is like that. That the root word is really terror. You know what I'm saying? but you know, terrific has been come to be known as something very good, and terrible is come to be known as something very bad. See what I'm saying? So you know, you have to be careful. I mean, that's like extreme examples where things became the opposite, you know what I mean? But there's movement, you know what I mean? It might not be the opposite, but it's like the word I'm trying to think exactly how it fit together. I know the word that I'm talking about, but I'm trying to think of exactly how the root was different. But it got something to do.
Why you talking about he probably come back so days? I can't.
Come back and do what? He just come to pick up his stuff.
He got an apartment. He got a little, he got an apartment. Like he all this stuff out that apartment.
Yeah, so he say come back and get his stuff. Peace, brother.
Yeah, must be. Hey, stranger.
Peace to the God. What's happening? What's going on, man?
You and me,
Good?
guys.
Well, of course,
You
forever.
don't got COVID-19. I'm happy to see you.
Peace to the God.
That's it, thing.
Peace.
You're
I'm
gonna
still
have
up.
a nice
Darkim Be Allah.
present.
Huh?
That's it, been taking a nice present.
Lot of us. For real.
Yeah.
Lot of us. I just talked to God Supreme. You know, better go to that health food store. Well, that job is closed. You know, that big health food store.
Oh, yeah. It killed.
Yeah, I thought they closed at 10.
Nah, you gotta catch them before 8.
Yeah.
That means they shut
Yeah,
down.
God Supreme just told me it is closed at 10.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So,
Can't get you everything God beats.
huh?
Can't get you everything. You probably figure it. You don't.
Yeah, right. You know, he don't come out much now at all.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Everything he caught that.
Right. So you got sick and who I got sick.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
ain't no shit.
Yeah, that's right.
He
That's right.
gone.
Yeah, they don't want
But the thing, I tell you, I'm great. I'm glad you come back.
Yeah, we all got that job. I remember the four of us walk from here, me, God Supreme, he's God. That job, that health food store was closed. Yeah, it's closed already, man. Yeah, gate down, locked down. I came by the school. I'm gonna go back there. I'm gonna go. You resting, right? I'm gonna come back up here. Come back up here for Allah service for Thursday. Huh? Now you sound like you resting, bro. I'm gonna go back to work. I'm gonna go back. What? The one-on-one bus all the way down to the job. Yeah, I'm down there on 2nd Avenue, 20 and 21st.
I know I ain't no buzz. You got killed.
All right, where? Yeah, I see that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Like
that's
a
right.
buzz.
You told me that before. Yeah. All right, I'll take that back
I'm
down.
like, make some out your North Peace soda.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right there.
I might
15.
get
Yeah,
you
that's
to
right.
go
That's
get
exactly what
one.
it's down. That's 15.
Nah, I ain't gonna be there.
Yeah, right. Okay.
No,
All right.
where you going? You going to?
I know.
How many? You going out to state somewhere?
Nah, I would just be at the house maintaining.
Oh.
All right, man. I'll call you tomorrow, man.
Maybe I'm
I'll
gonna
definitely be
get
up
a
there.
little now. And me, I got to see him talk, man. Me, I see him talking me when he Bible here, because he ain't gonna be already cremated him, so he ain't gonna be in there.
Who that?
LRB.
Oh, LRB.
Yeah, already cleaned it. They did have me a
Oh, they
service.
already clean.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's good.
I think I'm coming to service it for a little while and I'm out.
Yeah. I'm just coming to the peace.
I've been all day today, Saturday.
You look like you're getting younger, God.
I know, I'm late.
That's what Allah told us. I remember Allah told me when he was 41, right before he took his physical. He said, son, if you keep teaching like this, you shouldn't look no older than this.
Yeah,
No?
and I'm God now.
That's right.
I'm
You what?
God now.
Yeah, I'm God's coach.
See,
You
and
know?
how good we look.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. I told Rashid that the other day, Rashid, because he's shriveling away. You know, ain't nobody abused ourselves more than us as children in this knowledge.
Before the May died today,
Yeah.
he wanted me to get a water, a cane.
Get that one
I
down here.
told him, you gotta be out here. We trying
When
to
I see these
make
brothers,
me handicapped today.
yeah.
I
Get
said,
that here.
I don't need that stuff. I
The
ain't
knowledge of self is mentally and physically. You
right.
gotta know your own self. The unseen is these organs inside of us. You know, that's why the Quran says, believing in the unseen is not spookism. It's these organs that you don't see every day. Your heart, your liver, your kidneys and shit. You gotta take care of those things. You know, I mean, we got a big job ahead of us, and it's a shame how many of us cheated the world by not having our presence here longer. You know, a lot of brothers expired way before their time. You know, I mean, it's like crazy. I mean, it really is. You know, and I was telling the brothers at the last parliament, you know, the world is a reflection of us. That's the state the world is the state that we are. You know, and too many of us are taking this for granted. You know, walk around here saying we the God and getting stuck right there. They don't realize the 7th degree and the 1 to 40 is what? The rotation of planet Earth. Right? So you gotta, you can't keep distilling back down to the planet. You know, gotta rise above this. You know, I mean, there's a lot of jobs out here for us, more so now than when we was children in this now. You know, I mean, it seems like we got old and got dumber. And I don't mean old individually, you know, was in the just talking about all minds is one, yo. All minds is one. That ain't no job.
I ain't got old and
Can't
junky.
make this shit up.
I got more.
You just said it another way.
You see
It's
what I'm doing?
consciousness in one room.
Right, yeah. I mean, you listen to a lot on Otis Bill tape. You say you think getting old is a blessing. It says getting old ain't no blessing. Getting old is long suffering. God don't get old. God makes all things new. You know, right? I mean, that's just actual fact. You can't be. I've been seeing a lot of us with canes and walkers like you just said and shit. You know, that takes me back to it takes me back to Shamgar when we was kids and stuff. We had talk about Cain and Abel. One said he can, but the other one was Abel. You know, you see people be walking around. You know, you can't be. I mean, the image. You know, like you said, God made man in His image. You gotta have a good image. You know, you can't be all sickly. You know, and telling people how to live. That don't make no sense. You know, most people believe in what? Face value, right? They take everything off face value. So you got to put some value to your face. You know, you just have to. I mean, it's as simple as that. This is not rocket science. Just something that Einstein. Yeah, that's right. That's the only thing keep us up. Look, living mathematics. You know?
I got blessed with it now, good every shit.
That's right, God. Living mathematics. I got my son. My oldest son's 56. And my 56, 54, 52, and 50. Them motherfuckers look older than me.
Yeah.
They all look all up. You know, they ain't got no hair. They all gray and shit. You know? But see, once Saladin told me that when he was gesturing to right up there. He was gesturing at himself. He said, son, you teach the way I vote. When I tell you all to teach, you ain't gonna look no older than this. That shit stuck in my head. And at the time, I was like 21, you know. So it got me to every time I look in the mirror and shit, and I start seeing shit, I said, oh, I gotta teach you a little harder. For real. You know, and it's not amongst ourselves. See, that's what a lot of brothers get caught up in. They start clicking up in job and building, steel, sharpening steel and all that. I'll do this to 85%. That's what I did. I'll do this to what? Because I'm civilized, you know. And see, like a lot told me, you know, because I remember the brothers ran me out of the school. Ashi, my brother-in-law, Sincere, and my closest companion today, Akim. I was in there trying to teach them something, right? That kids still out, take that shit up to the mosque, man. Take that spooky shit up to the mosque. Hey, grandma, I got on the train in Medina. Because we had our school operation intellect on 91 Flatbush. I got out on the train, my feelings was hurting and everything. I came up here and Allah burnt me more. He said, I don't know what you want to be trying to teach them something. That's what's wrong with y'all. All y'all think y'all know everything. He said, you can't teach them nothing. You know, they 5%. You are 5%. What are you going to teach them? You know? So she said, go teach somebody who don't know, and then maybe you learn something. You know, that's what it's about, really. You know, you can't you gotta keep teaching. You gotta keep teaching he who don't know. All that steel sharp and steel shit. You know, you get cut. you get cut like a motherfucker, man. Yeah. That's what we got, man. Yeah, I gotta go back to work. My man. Yeah, that's me right there too, right next to Umar Raleigh. That's my shoulder. Yeah. That's my shoulder, right? This picture, we took this picture in Philly. That's Raleigh, Umar, that's me right there. I only got my shoulder though. That was in Philly. Yeah, my man Umar, man, he went to school in California. Even though he went to St. Louis Obispo, I went to West Valley. We was out there at the same time. They told Umar was in a Volkswagen. He had a Volkswagen. He rolled all over, man.
Hey, once that COVID-19 took Umar out,
Oh, man.
that's when I saw giving up.
Yeah, man.
I said,
It was a sign.
I said, I ain't going like that.
That was a sign, man.
I went to Friday night court that joint, look at me. And last time I remember Umar made me was a salmon. He said, 3 salmon. I took a hard, good, I was 63. I'm telling Umar, I can't wait until he makes some more.
Yeah, my man Umar.
Yeah, got a good time.
That's for sure, man.
Yeah.
Used to call him the big dummy. You know, he had a goddamn master's degree. We used to still call him the big dummy. You know? But Umar was just so nice, man. Just, you know, he had the heart of gold, man. You know? Heart of gold, man.
The kids don't give me hardly come around here no more.
Yeah, hardly came when he was here unless he brought his sons and stuff.
Yeah, his daughter came.
Oh, his daughter came? You know, I got a son.
Moon, you know, for years of memory. That last time I seen it, I ain't seen it.
I got a son born in California. We was out there from 73 to 76. And his son was just born. So his son must have been born about 75. Because he was in St. Louis Obispo University, right? When me and I hate even calling his name because he hates us so much now, but me and Knowledge God, we went to find Umar. And it was an all-white town, none but white folks. Right? So when we got out there, we went to the office and we asked for Ronald Robinson, right? Umar's honorable name. And nobody knew Ronald Robinson, nobody. And the white lady said to us, she said, well, you know, does he have another name or something? You know, she was looking in the book and job. And me and Knowledge God said, well, I don't know if y'all call him that out here, but his name is Umar. And they said, Umar, oh, why'd you say that? Yeah, she went in the back and she brought a newspaper out and it was Umar and the sister that he had, which was she was one of these Mexican No, she was Christine. She was Christine, Spanish speaking sister that he had. And they, it was on the front page of the paper with the baby that they had. And that was in 1976. So that baby is what, 40-some years old? This is, 46. Yeah, 46, 47, something like that.
Built up me, he said, oh, look,
Yeah, man, we was really shocked because, like I said, me and I as well, when we lived with in Santa Clara, we was the only black family on the block. And we was only the whole black, like the school I went to, West Valley College, they had 22,000 students, and it was less than 100 blacks on there. But we were still ourselves, man. That people was crazy about us, man. They showed a lot of love, man. And but they was, they was crazy about our name, Knowledge God, and Umala, Selah, But a long time ago now, we come a long way, man. Looking at these pictures and stuff, man, we got a long way to go.
yeah.
For real, we got a long way to
Lord,
go.
we still here. Good to go.
Good to go, man. Good to go. We just gotta get back focused, man. Because a lot of brothers just don't grow. They get stuck on God. That's what Saladin told me. Get stuck. He said mathematics go from knowledge of born. It don't go from knowledge of God. We get stuck. That's when we said that we have to have a lesson called premature mind, premature God and stuff. But premature baby is what, 7 months. And see a lot of I'm God in job. They think that's all it is. It stops right there. But as mathematics go, you got to build to be born. Even when we say the culture is our God, right? I is what born the ninth letter in the alphabet. God is the seventh. When you add it up, it brings you to the 16th degree again. So I mean, it's like it's not complicated, very simple, but you gotta manifest it, man. That's the thing. Yeah, people are not manifesting. You don't see, when we was children, man, you see them 5% in the street teaching each other, really teaching each other. When I say each other, teaching their own peer group, Now you look out the window, they don't see nothing. You don't see nothing. You come to the province, you see a bunch of old ass motherfuckers like myself and shit, You don't see too many young and babies. Like we was the young and we was the babies when Allah was understanding equality, understanding God. Justice was, in his late 30s, bad jab. We gave a hard time to. They was in their 30s. And we was teenagers. Cause we was 9 years old. Saeed from the beginning, he was 12. And
Shasha,
yeah.
yeah.
The older guards, and we was only like 18, 19, only 18, 19. But now just like these brothers, got some brothers in prison that be writing me, I be writing them back and stuff, but they be in the brother I spoke to last night for his understanding equality, I tell you, the best thing, I know you don't want to hear history and all that kind of stuff, but well, you talk about history 6,000 years ago, but they fuck up history from just 58 years ago. How you gonna tell me about So, and then you go to the first degree and the 1 to 40, we're supposed to write out the history for the future. That's how, they do what we did in the past there, because what we did in the past only brings us to where we are now. And that's not very far. I mean, when the mayor gave a lot of school and job, we ain't took it very much further in these whole, since 1967, 67, 68, when the school was given to us. We should have schools in every place where we at, but hey, it is what it is, but we got to start thinking about the future. Really, I mean, I got 12 children, 11 that's living, 40 grandchildren. Now, everyone in birth. I got 17 great-grandchildren. Right? That's your future. That's the future. Right? So you gotta have something for them. You gotta have something, you can't have your children going and say, oh man, that's a 5%er. You don't be talking about you, but you talk about others. And so that's why, like in Genesis, It's told. It says in Genesis and then in Revelation, it says the days of the Son of Man shall be what? 120, just like how the priest read. That ain't no coincidence. That's actual fact. You ain't supposed to start getting old at 60 and something. Some of these brothers get old at 40 and shit, you know, and pushing fucking what you call them. So, you know, I mean, wake up tomorrow and can't walk, but you know, it's actual fact. We gotta start taking care of ourselves, man. Taking care of our family.
Well, be understanding sight. I'm nothing for you. Understand, you told me to show you. That man look like he lift you a shit to you. I said, damn. I could tell you were building.
Shit, yeah, dog. I'll keep on, man. I mean, everything for real. Like a lot of them, I was sitting outside on the milk crate one day when I came to them, came up here to see them and stuff. They were doing some construction in the building that was there. He sat there, he was sitting there, and I was talking to him, and he looked up, he said, let me get up here for one of these bricks fall down and hit me in my head and kill me. You know, when we was children, a lot couldn't die physically to us. You couldn't tell us that, guy. I didn't know where in the world you could tell us that, but he was preparing us. Because he got up and he looked at me, he seen the shock in my face and in my eyes. He said, son, everything's for real. I ain't gonna be here with y'all forever. You know, and y'all gonna have a harder time than me, and we do. We having a harder time than him. I mean, he had a harder time with us. He had a hard time with us. But we got a hard time, not so much with the 85%, we got a hard time with our own selves. Yeah. You know, for real. With our own selves, man. You know, Islam is about the unity of God and the brotherhood of man. That's the whole description of Islam, not religion of Islam, but the way of life of Islam, the unity of God and the brotherhood of man. That's so many brothers just going against each other, man. That's foolishness, real foolishness. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get back down to my job now. So.
You gotta go to your job, and I gotta go put in my number.
All right. Remember that day we all hit the number, we all hit that 379? We was all marched around it. Say 8,000 to get that money. All right, peace to the God.
Tell your old man, just get number, right?
What number is that?
God, 95.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was his number, right?
Peace, God.
Peace.
I'm on that. I'm killed in the content.
Yeah, close the curtain.
Okay. You get knocked up. Yeah, every time I play, every time I play, old man, I want to get the game.
So I think that's about I think we can wrap it up, huh? Yeah, you had enough yet? I think maybe it might be bedtime here. I think you need too much more after that. Take some time to digest those. See, listen, that's why you gotta come around, G. Man, listen, I've been doing that for 35 years. See, the key is how to just handle that. And you gotta remember. See, I didn't say nothing. So you start talking, that's when the sharks get on you. But look, just to be here when they having a regular conversation. Like that was a regular conversation. I wasn't even building. It wasn't even like that wasn't even like, hold on, let me dust off my books. Yeah, man, yeah. Whoa. Yo, gee, imagine being around people like that every day. That they talking about just any common thing. And that's how the conversation come out. See, you can't, that's what I'm saying. That's the part you can't get on the Western. See, that was good for you because see how he used the mathematics. You see what I'm saying? That's what you gotta do once you observe that and then you learn how to use it. You know, because just on the paper like that is really nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's really You know, when you're able to make it walk and talk, when you're able, you know, it's just like, you know, a baby, they can count to 100, right? But they don't really know what that means and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got a little kid, if you get him a $20 bill, it's $1. If you get him a $5 bill, it's $1. If you get him a dollar bill, it's $1. Because they don't understand the values. You know what I mean? So, you know, same thing with supreme mathematics. But you know, once again, shout out to Saladin. We appreciate you. You know, I saw the that the trademark that you filed is dead. And you know, much as I took it upon myself to speak on the trademark when it was live, I also take it upon myself to be the first to report that the trademark is in fact dead. And you know, now we can kind of, you know, if that's what he wants to do, you know, this is how we build. Here you come. Peace.
Darkim gonna help you get out a good man. I like because God knows you don't have one. You make Darkim, you'll make sure you have magnificent names.
Ah, man. I don't know how they got you kickstarted today. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just in terms of, you know, which, like I said, I'm sure he probably doesn't want to build with me, but, you know, either way, you know, we appreciate you doing the right thing. Positive elevation always corrects errors. And Saladin, we welcome you to the Show and Prove 2023 to break a little bread with the true lick. In the meantime, in between time, I mean, I don't want to put nothing else on top of that right there. I think we need to let y'all digest that what Theology is built on. And of course, we back in here tomorrow anyway. So for right now, everybody do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And I'm gonna sign off. Say peace. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Driving while going to the bathroom.